This video, prepared by Fairfax County Department of Public Works and Environmental Services, provides an overview of the smaller Lake Accotink Preservation Feasibility Study in cooperation with the Fairfax County Park Authority. The purpose of this feasibility study is to better understand the sediment movement conditions within Accotink Creek and Lake Accotink and explore the best alternatives for preserving a 20 to 40 acre lake at a depth of 4 to 8 feet. The lake has long been a cherished amenity in the park by the surrounding communities and Fairfax County residents. Fairfax County is working with an independent design and engineering firm to conduct the smaller Lake Accotink Preservation Feasibility Study, which will evaluate potential smaller lake options to preserve much of the aesthetic and recreational features of Lake Accotink. Originally, Lake Accotink served as a source of drinking water for Fort Belvoir in the early 1940s before it was purchased by the Fairfax County Park Authority in 1965. Over the years, the 30-square-mile watershed drainage area that feeds into the lake became more developed prior to the implementation of modern stormwater management regulations, leading to increased runoff and erosion. This added a significant increase of sediments like sand, mud, and other materials to the lake. High-energy, faster-moving water has eroded the stream bank along Long Branch and Accotink Creek. Sediment settled around the upstream area of the lake, ultimately reducing the size of the lake from 110 acres to approximately 50 acres. Finer suspended sediment particles continued moving further into the lake and settled across the lake bottom, reducing the lake depth. While Fairfax County has dredged the lake twice in 1985 and 2008, sediment continues to pose a threat to the lake's future. Lake Accotink's drainage basin is uncharacteristically large for the lake's size. This is why the lake is filling faster than other lakes in the county. Due to the large developed area upstream, continuing to dredge sediment from the lake to maintain its original size and depth is too expensive, too impactful on natural resources, and too disruptive to adjacent communities. If sediment transport into Lake Accotink is not addressed, sediment will likely fill the lake and transform it into wetlands, eliminating the water feature. In May of 2023, the Fairfax County Board of Supervisors established the Lake Accotink Task Force to ensure that all options were considered to preserve a smaller Lake Accotink in the most sustainable, equitable, and cost-effective manner. Subsequently, in December 2023, the task force found that a 20 to 40 acre lake at a depth of 4 to 8 feet would preserve much of the aesthetic and recreational value of Lake Accotink. This would continue to benefit the evolving communities surrounding the lake. Based on the task force's findings, the Fairfax County Board of Supervisors called for additional studies on the preservation of Lake Accotink in January 2024. These additional studies included 4 activities: sedimentation study, dam assessment study, community engagement plan, and a feasibility study. First, the Lake Accotink Sedimentation Study is using stream and lake modeling, field data collection on erosion and deposition along Accotink Creek, and monitoring conducted by the United States Geological Survey. This will address the uncertainty regarding the amount of sediment entering Lake Accotink and provide the county with a reliable estimate of how sediment is moving and settling inside the lake and guide maintenance efforts to preserve a smaller lake. Second, the Fairfax County Park Authority, with its consultant team, is assessing the conditions of Lake Accotink Dam for both the embankment and the concrete sections of the dam. Third, the Community Engagement Plan is enhancing public outreach activities and facilitating increased transparency during the feasibility study process. As part of this plan, a public survey was prepared and launched between September 19 and October 30, 2024, to solicit feedback on the scope of the preservation feasibility study and to learn how the public preferred to engage in this study. Based on the feedback received from the public, the county updated the feasibility study scope and the community engagement plan. Lastly, the smaller Lake Accotink Preservation Feasibility Study is progressing as planned and will continue through mid-2026. Field data monitoring, feasibility study updates, and community engagement activities will extend through the end of 2027. If the information obtained through these efforts necessitates updates to the Preservation Feasibility Study, it will be updated accordingly. To inform the community and stakeholders and encourage public engagement, Fairfax County Department of Public Works and Environmental Services hosts 2 websites. The first one provides study updates and supporting information. The second website provides public involvement opportunities and announcement of feasibility study-related new information for review and feedback. Thank you for joining us. Your voice matters in shaping the future of Lake Accotink, a treasured natural resource for generations to come.